Are you ready?
A Shot of Wrestling, episode 318, and away we go.
Shot, what? Is that the message you got? We about to go live. Are you ready to rock? So take a shot. Oh, so take a shot. Oh, yeah. I'm a street breaker. I'm a heartbreaker. This is my job. I'm a mold breaker. Rick Flair, Nature Boy, about to seek and destroy. It's an SOW. Let me hear you make noise. Take a shot, boy. Is that the message you got? We about to go live. Are you ready to rock? So take a shot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of A Shot of Wrestling. I'm your host at Michael J. Putty, joined, as always, Marcus Davenport Schwann the Third. What's up, buddy? How you been?
You're forgetting the important part here. Your favorite actor, Mark Schwann. How's it going, man?
Why are you yelling to this microphone? Come on.
I'm not yelling. I'm far away from the mic.
You should be used to this by now.
You should be used to my levels by now. We've been doing this for how long?
Yeah, but, my computer sucks now, so I can't hear shit from it. Story Michael J. Putty's life.
So that's probably why I should be yelling then, so you can hear me.
No, I can hear you fine. So when I play it back, I can't hear shit.
Well,
so when I post the show, I just keep my fingers crossed. But
you need a new laptop, my dude.
Clearly we're doing fine because people are still coming back.
People are liking our shit, man. Props, Mickey James.
Yeah, I could die now. Mickey James liked our shit. That's great.
Yeah, I thank you. Thank you.
See, I knew you would win you over. You thought it was so stupid when I started doing it. When we started doing it, and then now you're doing it yourself. It's great.
That's a one and done thing.
Is it though?
It is our last show of the year, so I figured, I'd give you a little something.
Oh, that's my present?
Yeah, that's your present. There you go.
Do you have a receipt?
No, I don't.
Oh, so I can't return
So
it.
you have to keep it.
That sucks.
No, yeah, that's yours forever.
Indian giving, my friend.
You're going to give it to? Or you're going to give it back to me, aren't you?
Thank you.
There it is. And there it is.
Anyway, how's life going? Before we get into the news of the week, how's Christmas shopping? I didn't even start yet.
Dude, yeah, same. I always forget about the holidays, really, because I'm just so honed in about what I do. And yeah, it dawned on me today that Christmas is only like 2 weeks away. I can't, man. And everyone's bogging down, like, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? Like, hey, I threw out there, like, hey, let's have an experience together. Let's go to an event together or do something.
Okay.
No, like, I don't have time to do that. Let me just buy you something. Like, I don't want anything. I don't need anything. Like, I don't want any of these tchotchke things. Like, don't waste your money. It's so annoying. I hate the holidays because of this, because it's just such a forceful gift giving event.
Ebenezer, did your view on this thing change when you had a baby? That's the whole point of Christmas, to change your things when a baby comes around? Isn't that one of the pros?
It's so materialistic, though. That's what I can't stand about it. Like, I want to teach my daughter, it's not about the gifts. Yes, of course, we're going to give her something, of course, and I'm sure she's going to get 1,000,001 things. We're actually talking today about bringing 2 cars down to Long Island because of the expectancy of, how much gifts we're going to get for this girl. But it's just insane that we just value things more than moments and people and experiences. And that's what I really want to teach my daughter about. I can't wait. At the same time, I can't wait for when she's old enough to understand what Christmas is and the holidays are about, and to really fully experience that and
which is
enjoy
what?
that. But yeah, just the moments and the traditions, just to see the excitement in her face. It's really about the kids. But at the same time, I want to teach her, how we celebrate Christmas, me and my wife, and for her to enjoy that aspect as well.
It's weird you bring that up, because today I was bored shitless at work, and all of a sudden I have several friends who are interfaith marriages or just don't believe in anything, raising their children either with nothing or another religion. But they still celebrate Christmas. I'm like, what do you tell somebody Christmas is about when Christmas is about the birth of Jesus Christ? I need a philosophical answer from you, because we have lots to talk about this thing. There's something I thought about today.
I know that's the conversation off air.
I'm like, oh yeah, because Christmas is about this, Christ Mass, whatever. I don't get too much into the woods in that one.
Yeah, there's a lot we could break down on that, but
we're doing the show. Man. We're doing the show. Let's quickly moving on. December 9th, right? I'm walking around my house. I hear Michael Cole tonight say John Cena is going to come on SmackDown December 30th. 3 weeks away, 21 days. I'm like, that's soon. Like, where did this year go? You just mentioned it earlier. Unfortunately, this is our last show of the year. Christmas, New Year's, and next weekend's BCW. We take that weekend off to devote to that. So it turns out our schedules, this is the last show of the year. And it's
right.
What a fucking year it's been.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like, we usually do like a year-end awards at this point.
Yeah.
But like the way out everything, like, you know, by the way, so thankful to Anthony Cole for having us be part of the commentary team for BCW. So thank you for that. So it's a new thing with that the new relationship there, or the evolved relationship, if you will. We always had a relationship with BCW. It's evolved. Be like a deeper marriage, if you will. And then boom, back to back. You know, we have Christmas, we have the New Year's. And also New Year's show of BCW.
Day one.
Well. Yeah.
That's insane. In the afternoon, no less.
Right. It's January 1st. Welcome to the New Year, BCW. Again at the Ridgefield Park, New Jersey.
I have January 2nd off, so that's not too bad, actually.
Well, there you go.
Can't wait. Tickets available on Eventbrite for Christmas with a Vengeance. Stay tuned for the New Year's show. Can't wait.
And that will be December 17th, Christmas with a Vengeance. Boom. I mean, hey, man, we're very busy. We're very busy. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to delay the year-end awards for the beginning of next year's show. That's what we'll be doing then.
Which is kind of better for us because then the year-end awards can encapsulate the whole year-end. Usually we do year-end awards like the last 3 weeks of the year. Like, maybe something happens.
Maybe. It tends not to. They kind of feel like...
It's just amazing how we've gone over 2 years without doing commentary, and here we are doing commentary with like back-to-back in 3 weeks. 2023 is right around the corner, my friends. Going to be shaping up to be a good year for us.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I'm ecstatic for it. You said this was like a fast year. I feel like this year, it felt like 5 years.
Well, that's what having a baby does.
I guess, yeah, I was about to say.
Distorts your time.
I think that's right.
Like Loki,
right, pretty much.
Distorts your timeline variance. See the blank look in your face. You didn't watch that show. So how about...
No, I did watch the show.
Did you? Oh, that's your
I liked it a lot.
That's your natural state of face. That's your natural face.
Yeah, I guess so. That's my default. Confused.
Anyway, Mark, I think it's enough time. Let's go see what's trending this week.
Absolutely, Putty. So the Acclaimed has been trending quite a bit for a couple of reasons. So one of which here, let me load this up on Twitter. From Drain Loves the Acclaimed at hashtag at sorry, not hashtag at Drain Bamager WOR. The Acclaimed are currently the top merch sellers in all of AEW. That's big news. Congrats to them. Obviously, they're very over in AEW as tag team champions.
Yep. But
then some other news broke out that day. Pro Wrestling Illustrated, they released their top tag teams for the year. According to All Wrestling Media at AWEGRP, the top 10 of the PWI Tag Team 2022. Number 1, the Usos. Number 2, FTR. Number 3, the Briscoes. 4, Death Triangle. 5, Hazuki and Tugama. 6, RK Bro. 7, the Good Brothers. 8, the Young Bucks. 9, the Hex. Give it up for the Hex.
Number 9 in your playbooks, number 1 in our hearts.
And number 10, Violence is Forever. The Acclaimed, the AEW Tag Team Champions, are not in the top 10. So, Putty, I have to ask this question. Is the Acclaimed a top tag team, or are they all hype?
They're a top tag team. They're probably AEW's most successful tag team they have. They're the number 1 merch seller because what? They have a catchy, sexy catchphrase, some easy hand gesture, like DX. What other team has a catchphrase in AEW? Who else has a catchphrase in AEW? I can't think of one person, except MJF maybe. I'm better.
Yeah, I was going to say MJF. Oh, I mean, Britt Baker. Yeah. Hello.
Okay, but I haven't seen that on a shirt. I've seen the DMD shirt, but you can't put the whole hand gesture on a shirt. The whole scissor thing, this daddy thing. There's so many angles they can go merchandise-wise. Hence why they're number 1. Well-deserved. They're a great tag team. I think I've always asked when the PWI stuff comes out, what timetable does it encapsulate? I think this one was October to September.
The fact that RK Bro is on there, though, I mean, that's...
They had a good year.
But Randy Orton has been out of action for quite a bit now. Like, I don't necessarily think RK Bro should be the top 10, maybe top 20. Like, the Acclaimed, they've been around during this whole time. You know, like, they have, at least.
I feel like they kind of blew up only during the summer.
they blew up for sure over the summer, but they've been a team longer
they've
than
been a team
that.
for the whole 3 years, yeah, but they haven't really been doing much until this whole scissor thing hit. And Daddy Ass came around.
With the whole raps angle, like, you know, they were catching steam, especially with Max Caster. Like, you know, they were trending for quite a bit with different raps that he would have when he did his entrances. You know, like, they were around, they were relevant. And yeah, I mean, of course, over the summer, yeah, they caught a lot of steam at a great time. I don't know, man. I just feel like either they're good or they're not. They're not as good as being advertised. I'm not too sure which one it is, personally. It might be that they're all hype because of the fact that, yeah, I mean, top merch sellers for sure, because I think that has a lot to do with Billy Gunn. I mean, Billy Gunn is a great creative mind. We've talked about this before in the past. You know, obviously being part of the New Age Outlaws, being part of DX, you know, he obviously is part of the success train that they had of, like, you know, being merch sellers and coming up with ways to get over. And he's a creative dude. He brings that to the Acclaimed, and it's pretty much identical, but yet not, because they're making it their own. So kudos to him for doing that. I don't know, man. I mean, like,
also, wasn't Anthony Bowens hurt for a long time? They were wheeling him around in a wheelchair. He just came back to the ring months ago. That probably plays a factor. Their win-loss record as a team. Someone, I think it was Jim Cornette, was mentioning that there's a lot. They weren't involved in many tag team matches. It was trios matches, 8-man tag matches, 1-on-1 matches. Them as a tag team didn't really do much in the first half of the year. Maybe that plays something into it. But you're right. I don't see why RK Bro will be over them. Good Brothers had a great year in Impact.
I mean, every other team on here, I mean, legitimate claim to be in the top 10. Legit. Yeah, the Usos for sure. I mean, number 1. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. There's people who disagree with this.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that are big fans of the Young Bucks. That they believe they should be number 1, I'm sure. Hell, you know, I mean, they were off TV for a little bit, too. That may have knocked them down the rankings. They're still in the top 10. You know, the Acclaimed are not on here at all. And I think that's a big deal. That's saying, like, hey, these are the top 10 teams that are better than you, and you know it. Or it's an oversight. I don't know which one it is, but either one, I think that goes to show, like, you know, maybe the Acclaimed are not as good as we think they are. Maybe they're just incredibly over, and, you know, they won our hearts. But are they really that good in the ring? Like, what was their most the most standout match other than when they won the tag team championships at Grand Slam?
Good question. I don't know.
Right?
When did they win that? That was mid-September, right?
Yeah, that was September. That was
mid-September.
AEW Grand Slam. Right, and I remember hearing about this, that the match wasn't as good, but the payoff at the end was spectacular because of the fact that they won in New York, and it was a big celebration. But I remember keeping on hearing people were talking about, like, hey, the match wasn't that good. I don't know, man. It pains me to say, because I like the Acclaimed a lot, man. They're very entertaining. But is entertaining good enough? Because I'm looking at these tag teams, man. I mean, these are some damn good tag teams.
I found the time series from October 1st to September 30th of this year. And they've been blowing up the last quarter of the year. They had a good summer. I don't remember too much about their winter, the winter and the spring. But next year, they'll definitely be in the top 10. They'll probably be in the top 5 next year. So their time is here. Let's see how this year goes out. See how AEW does the next 12 months. But I think they're just starting out on their careers here in the mainstream. They'll be in the top 5 next year without a question. Heard it here first.
I mean, yeah, you have what, 1, 2? You have 2. I don't know if you count the Briscoes. They're ROH. You have 3 tag teams on here ranked in the top 10. They're not your tag team champions, and I would have to agree. FTR is a better team.
Oh, because they've been together for longer, more experience.
Right. The Young Bucks, you know how I feel about them, but
isn't it
they might be the better team too.
3 people.
Yeah.
So what tag team?
I don't know.
Are we doing a Freebird role here?
I guess so, maybe. And the Good Brothers, they had a little stint in AEW, so could we count them?
But they had a great year.
I don't know.
Two-time tag team champions in Impact. They had a good year overall.
But every single, I mean, look at this, buddy. Would you put the Acclaimed over any of those teams? I would say no.
I can't say anything about number 5 and 10 because I don't know who the people are.
No, but I'm talking about the one specifically AEW wise.
Oh, AEW wise? I could be biased. I'll put them over the Bucks. Again, I don't remember a Young Bucks match. Like, oh my god, that was great. And
I feel like the Young Bucks. I feel like the Young Bucks have been getting better.
Okay.
This past ever since they've been with Kenny Omega, I would dare say they've been getting better. And you know how I feel about them.
So for the last 3 weeks, they've been getting better.
No, but I was talking about like the beginning of the year since they started going with Omega. I don't know, man. Like, it pains me to say this about the Acclaimed, because I do want to believe that they're a top team, but I might have to, looking at this list.
They'll be there next year.
They might be all hype.
They'll be there next year. They'll be there. I'm not.
I hope they are.
Again,
I hope they are.
They're just starting to ascend that hill. They'll be fine. They'll be here next year, definitely.
Moving on, then, Roman Reigns. I feel like this man is always trending, and for obviously good reasons. I mean, he is the top dog in all of wrestling. But here we are, WrestleOps at WrestleOps. Roman Reigns has now broken into the all-time top 4 longest combined WWE Championship reigns at 1,260 plus days. Another historic milestone amidst a historic run. Dude, there's no denying, man. Roman Reigns, his star power is incredible right now. There is no one that is touching him. So I do want to ask this question here, Putty. Will Roman Reigns be in a Mount Rushmore of wrestling when it's all said and done?
Absolutely, man. How can he not be? Talk about Mount Rushmore. There's 4 faces on Mount Rushmore. He's in the top 4. You're going by days alone. He's the 4th one. Yeah, I don't see.
Now, you talking about specifically championship reigns, or are we just talking about all
I'm
time?
talking about championship reigns right now.
Okay.
Championship reigns, days, how many championships you win, how long you've held it matters into decision sometimes. I think he's done a phenomenal job. I can't compare him to anybody else in the current era right now. Yeah, he's definitely he'll go down as one of the greatest of all time. It's the same thing with. I talk about my friend all the time about this. He gets on his nerves. He's a big basketball fan. Huge LeBron fan. These comparisons between Jordan and LeBron Kobe, it's very annoying to him because you can't compare. It's different eras, different games. Games different over each decade. Games evolve. Same thing here. I think Roman Reigns is the greatest of all time in our generation this time. Like, you can't compare him to Ric Flair. You can't compare him to Hulk Hogan. You can't compare him to Shawn Michaels right now. It's a different game.
Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, even better. It's a different game, different attitude. He is probably the greatest of all time that we're seeing in this current modern generation. Yes.
Current modern generation. Interesting you say that. So I think the counter for that would be, because keep in mind, you're talking about the current modern generation. Like, John Cena's not retired yet, right? And I think it's been spoken quite a bit from, Vince McMahon to Triple H to Stephanie McMahon to anyone that's at a top level in WWE and all of wrestling. They talk about John Cena being the Babe Ruth of wrestling, right?
Yes.
That's been said countless times. And he is tied with Ric Flair with 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. Does he beat out John Cena for that Mount Rushmore spot? Because I feel like, there's only 4 spots there.
Is it a different generation or same time period?
It's the same time period, man. They fought. They've wrestled twice.
Yeah, but Triple H and Ric Flair fought too.
John Cena, as we talked about before, coming back December 30th. It's definitely a reason why he's coming back. And, there's been rumors about him wrestling at WrestleMania. He might get a spot in Royal Rumble. Who knows? We don't know what his role is going to be over there. But, it seems like John Cena's coming back for a short period of time. So, John Cena, he is part of the modern generation. Like,
he's still wrestling, though. So is Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels. They're not in the same generation. They fought each other.
There's a bigger gap there. There's a much bigger gap.
I think
Roman Reigns,
Roman
Reigns and John Cena definitely overlapping each other. There's definitely overlap there. It's not like 2 completely different generations, Putty.
Yeah, but Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels overlapped. Ric Flair was wrestling during the Attitude Era as well.
But right, different promotion at the time.
Let's moving on. You said I was right.
No, stop it. So then you are saying Roman Reigns would take this spot. Like, there's only 4 spots. So who are the 4 Mount Rushmore then? Let's say Roman Reigns.
If we go by championship reigns
tomorrow,
then we're going by championship reigns here.
You're going by championship reigns, but go on.
If we are, because that's what he's in the top 4. If you're going to make it Mount Rushmore of the greatest champions, you got to put Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Bob Backlund, and Roman Reigns. Those are the longest champions of all time.
That's easy pickings right there. But like, if we're talking about
Bruno Sammartino, would Bruno Sammartino be champion for 4,000 days in the current era? No, he would not be.
No.
So again, you can't compare Bruno Sammartino to Roman Reigns.
So you're going specifically by championship reigns.
I'll just bring up top because that was the whole point of that he came in the 4th place. Wasn't that what the question you asked? He is the 4th. He's in 4th place now.
He is in 4th place right now as far as championship reigns. But like, I'm talking about the Mount Rush.
That's going to weigh in.
Mount Rushmore in general as top wrestlers. So, people always it's interchangeable quite a bit, but you see common one name or two names are common names that keep on coming up. Would Roman Reigns be all across the board? People yes, Roman Reigns for sure. Lock in there.
Yes, without question.
Without question. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You'll be telling your daughter when she's in her teens about the great Roman Reigns, much like Brock Purdy was told about Tom Brady growing up.
You're putting him at that level. Is Roman Reigns the best of all time then?
That's up for debate. Again, that's personal. That's subjective. People compare. What are your measurement sticks comparing who's great and who's not great? So that's a different subject for a different day. But he'll definitely go down as one of, if not the greatest of all time. Yes.
Well, we definitely will see about that. I mean, it's. I think you're right in the sense that yes, he will be considered one of the greats of all time. Will he be the best of all time? I mean, he's still going. Obviously, there's no stopping right now.
Would he be on my Mount Rushmore? I don't think so because I'm personally, I'm more inclined to the favorites I grew up watching. There's a whole generation of he's their John Cena, he's their Hulk Hogan. So when kids grow up, he will be on Mount Rushmore for a lot of people. Yes,
I feel like he's kind of like what Patrick Mahomes is today in the NFL. They're a lot of traditionalists. They'll say Dan Marino. Some will say Terry Bradshaw. Obviously Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre will get thrown there. Joe Montana. But a lot of people would say would deserve one last spot there for Patrick Mahomes, or he might overtake someone. I think Roman Reigns is at that level right now, where there's some people that say I reserve that fourth spot for the future, and Roman Reigns is the current, and he is the future, because he's far from done, dude. He is far from done. There's so many still great things that he can do. He still contribute to this business. Roman Reigns is spectacular. He gets my vote definitely for the fourth spot in the Mount Rushmore. I don't think we're ever going to see someone like him again.
No, I can't see over 2.5 years of champion. Unheard of in this day and age.
Right. Especially the attention span that people have in today's generation, and it's not getting stale.
No,
it's not getting stale at all.
You think it would be,
which is remarkable.
You think it would be, but it's not. It's great. Even though I said last week, you're doing a second lap now. It's still not getting stale.
Right. And they're still trying to figure out ways and how they're going to get the belts off him. It sounds like they are leading towards him main eventing 2 nights. That was being brought up.
Good, yeah, that's a great idea. I don't see it happening, but now that they're going with that, good. That he should. He's champion. He only wrestles a couple times a year anyway. Let's do it back to back.
Hey, they could still keep a championship on him. That could still be in the cards.
Absolutely.
But we shall see. Moving forward, though, Putty, we have a big news segment here to cover. Who do you think I'm talking about, man? She's trending every fucking time. Sasha Banks. Almost broke the internet, I think, here with this one. Last week, she was trending because she was at a Boston Celtics game, and that was weird. But here she's got a rightful right to trend. NoDQ.com, report Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado, will be in attendance for New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 17. Putty, this is breaking news. Apparently now there's reports coming out with AEW Locker Room. Seems pretty excited because they believe that there's an open door for Sasha Banks to come to AEW now. What does this mean? Is Sasha Banks done with WWE? Is that it?
I don't think so. Did we just talk about this a couple weeks ago? No, I don't think so.
Nakamura's going. If she's done with wrestling.
Nakamura's going to New Japan. He's wrestling in New Japan. She's going to be in the audience. Maybe set something up. Okay, that open door is ajar. She might do her thing. She's going to come back to WWE. I still think so. Again,
what makes you say that though? What you seem very firm in the fact that she's back in WWE. We've confirmed last week that the whole contract thing is not set in stone. We don't necessarily know what her contract status is.
She still could be under contract. She could be released. Who knows? This could be a big ploy.
But what makes you so firm in believing the fact that she's coming back to WWE? Is it because you're a WWE loyalist, or is this something you want to see? Or
I don't see her fitting in AEW. I don't see her spot for
her.
Why? Where is she going to do?
What spot for her?
Yeah,
she's Sasha Banks, man. They make a spot for her.
You got Britt Baker. Now you got Paige, right?
Saraya.
Whatever. Don't be a dick. You know who I mean.
That's her real name. Who I mean. That's her real name. Respect the name, bro.
Tony Storm. You got that weak ass division has multiplied and grown exponentially last year. All right, I think WWE needs her more. She's more home there. It's a better spot for her, bigger platform for her. I just think she's not going to come again because I don't know if she's even released yet. Give me confirm where she's going to be released, then I'll entertain the idea for going to AEW. But I have not any confirmation about that yet.
You're talking about, what spot would she have in AEW? They've got all these stars, and they do have quite a bit of talent. But the same thing can be said about WWE. WWE has moved on. Bayley is killing with Damage Control. Becky Lynch is back. Rhea Ripley's on a rise. Ronda Rousey is there. Liv Morgan's on the rise.
So why do you think she's going to AEW?
Happening with her?
Let me ask you that same question. You seem hell bent that she's going to AEW. Every time we talk about this, you say, "Oh, your tone, your cadence, the look in your voice, you think you want her in AEW."
I never said for sure. I never said for sure about that because if you've heard me quite a bit, I doubted her return to wrestling. I said, she may have it open there for Hollywood. I thought really that was the route she's going, but it seems like there might be a pivot here. If she does go to AEW, that's big news. And if that's the case, I mean, the rumor has it is, AEW this past Wednesday, Dynamite, there's a tease about Saraya having a tag team partner announced a month from now. And speculation is that could be Sasha Banks because why announce like a mystery partner a month away? So obviously it's got to be a name. I'm not saying it's going to be that for sure. Could it be? That'd be awesome. Big pop there for that. You also have the Royal Rumble coming up. She could be a surprise entrant there. As you mentioned before, I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura, it's not lost on me the fact that he's going to be wrestling New Japan. It is very interesting to see what Sasha Banks is doing. Like, no one seems to know what's going on here with her, what she's looking to do. I think she's trolling everyone, and she's having a blast doing it. Good for her.
That's my next comment. I think she's trolling all of us. I think she knows what she's doing. You mentioned it when Bray Wyatt got released. He could be acting. Maybe he doesn't want to come back to wrestling. Maybe he wants to be an actor. There's conversations with him in Hollywood. There's definitely conversations with her in Hollywood. She could definitely be an actress. She trademarked her real name, right? People are wondering.
She did. Apparently, she opened up her own company as well. Yeah.
So
good for her.
The world's her oyster. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. My question to you is,
she understands her brand very well, and she's doing a very good job branding and get her name out there. Hey, props to her publicist.
Why do we care? Why are we obsessing about every single move she makes? Give me your fucking answer. Why are we talking about her every 2 weeks? Okay.
I don't know, but there's no denying this is big news. So there's no denying
big news.
This.
I think I heard myself say it out loud. It's not a slander on her. It just seems like everyone's obsessed with what she's doing. But why don't we just wait and see what she does instead of wondering what she's doing?
I mean, now it's like an obvious part. We know what she's doing right now. She's going to be at Wrestle Kingdom with New Japan Pro Wrestling. A lot of eyes are going to be on this, I think, strictly for her, because that's a big deal. Sasha Banks. Is she wrestling as Sasha Banks? Is she going to be as Mercedes Varnado? Like, what's going on? We don't know. Rumor has it she might be facing Kairi Sane, which would be incredible. That's a match that she's.
Can these conversations end if she wrestles in New Japan as Sasha Banks? Is this conversation over?
I think it is.
Right.
I think it's because like WWE does own the rights to Sasha Banks, so
that'll be the litmus test. Yeah.
I think then it will be confirmed about the fact that yes, then she is part of WWE still. She's under contract.
If she's shown sitting in the audience with a chyron on her name as Mercedes Varnado, okay, rumors still swirl. If she's shown as Sasha Banks or wrestles as Sasha Banks, the conversation's ending.
Yeah, we don't have confirmation. Is she wrestling or is she just appearing? Like
she's just appearing. The rumor swirls are going. She's going to be there. What if? I'll wait to see until I get more news about this because this is just breaking this week. So who knows what's going to happen? And when is even Wrestle Kingdom? I don't even know. But
it's Wrestle Kingdom 17. It's a big deal for New Japan. So
yeah, but when? You know when it is? Do you know the dates?
Let me look that up right now here. Stand by. The date is doesn't say in that article. Of course not. Are you? It seems like you're over the whole thing with Sasha Banks. You just want to know what's going on here.
I'm just tired of rumors and swirling and speculating. I'm tired of talking about it week in and week out because everyone's talking about it. Like, all right, I can sit here and talk until I'm blue in the face.
The event will take place January 4th, 2023 at the Tokyo Dome. Well, that's a big deal, actually. That's a really big deal.
She'll be wrestling there or making an appearance or doing a run-in.
She's going to be involved.
You can't have announced Sasha Banks being at the Tokyo Dome without doing something.
Right.
That would be like. I'm waiting for that. Yes.
Yeah. Is this a one-off? Is she going to be part of New Japan? Like Sasha Banks, she's made it very clear her passion for New Japan, for Japanese wrestling and the culture in general. Like, obviously this has been on a bucket list for her. Hey, if Triple H is allowing her to do this, then props to her.
I think she wrestled in Tokyo Dome before. When
I think
had,
she has.
W had a Super Show there. But yeah, W has announced she's not been released. We don't know what W's not saying anything. She's not saying anything. I think this is the biggest troll. This is being well played on both ends. This is great.
The fact that even AEW talent are talking about it as if like, yeah, we got her. That's something too. That's interesting.
All part of the process.
Like, again, it seems like nobody knows. Not talent, not management. Like, it just seems like the only person that does know is Sasha Banks, and she's keeping her cards close to the chest. So
and Triple H, because if she's released, he'll know. If she's still on a contract, he knows.
We shall see. But Putty, that's all I have for the news, my man.
Great. Anything else we want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I do have an interview.
There we go. With who?
Should we talk about that?
Please.
All right. So my guest this week is a man I have encountered a couple of times in the locker room, different promotions. He is a scary individual. I am not easily threatened or intimidated, but yeah, this dude does it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Steve Monsta Mack.
What up, Mark? How you doing?
Good, man. Good. It's nice to see you without a machete for once.
Well, sometimes you got to leave the machete in the bag and just let people know that it's there and you don't have to actually show them.
What actually led to the beginning of that, to you bring a machete out? Because you're a scary son of a bitch by yourself. Like you don't need that thing.
Well, so that machete has a lot of history. That actually was, it belongs to Low Life Louie. He lent me it. And he used it in a match. Yeah, exactly. He used it in a match with Homicide back in 1999 for Jersey All Pro. And that match actually went viral because it was the first Christmas tree death match. And so they used it in the match. And I knew I wanted to piss people off in the Bronx. I hate the Bronx. And I was like, just in case any of these idiots want to get smart and try to hop the guardrail, I'll have this machete with me. Not only will you have this big, nasty teddy bear coming after you, but he'll have a machete in his hand, and that might make him think twice. And my goal was always to start riots, and I definitely came close to it in the BWF a few times with the machete. So
I feel like I've witnessed that a couple of times doing commentary BWF, and I have gotten heat there myself. Those fans are no joke. They will jump the guardrail.
Yes, exactly.
Smart move carrying that machete. Speaking of BWF, and I've done a run in Titan as well. I feel like any locker room that I've seen you in, I feel like you have always taken on its leadership type of role in there. You are never shy to voice your opinion. You take your time to give advice to talent. You even gave advice to us commentary, which was invaluable. To tell me about that, taking on that role, was it something that just comes natural to you? Like, explain that.
So being around as long as I have, I've done practically everything that you can do in professional wrestling in the independents, whether it be wrestling for every different type of company in the tri-state area or, running a locker room or wrestling or whatever it is, commentary. So I always say, especially as I get older, I want the business to be better than where I found it, which every veteran should want to do that. Everybody who gets to the business, once you get past a certain point of success, now it's what you give back to it. So for me, I have no problem letting people know what I think should work for them, what they should try to motivate, try to help and inspire. And, it's just a natural thing for me. I like being in tag teams for that reason. I like being in a tag team with a guy who can go, but doesn't really know that how well he can push it. So if you look at Moff, when me and him first started, he was a rookie. He didn't know anything. I was only 2 years in the business, but, I was traveling already with Loki. We were going all over the place, wrestling all over the place. And I was showing him the ropes, and he became damn Moff. You know what I mean? Kyle right. Kyle the Beast, the same thing. I mean, Kyle the Beast, when I met him, he was a kid basically, and this man child, and he became Kyle the Beast, KTB, and now you see him tearing things up. There's a lot of guys I just love doing that with, taking that role, showing them that they can be better than they ever knew that they could be. And at the same time, I get some satisfaction because we become successful, and I prove to myself that I could do it. Doesn't matter who it is, where it is, what time. So for me, I get that satisfaction of knowing that I help someone be a little bit better. And if it's commentary, something that I've done, if it's ring announcing, something that I've done, if it's refereeing, something that I've done, wrestling, something that I've done, production, something that I've done, I have no problem trying to help out and make everyone have a better understanding of how better the product can be and how better they can be for the product.
That's amazing, man, because, like you're talking about the role of a veteran in the locker room. And listen, I mean, you've been around a lot of locker rooms. Not every veteran does that.
I know.
Like you don't have to do that, but you do. And I think that's why, as scary as you are, I think that's why you're so loved in the locker room, is so respected, because of the fact that you do take the time to do that. And kudos to you, man. I'll never forget that you did that, because, like, dude, we were nobody. We still are nobody. And yet you still took the time to do that for us too, even. So that is very awesome for you. Thank you.
But that's how the business grows and gets better. It's been a big topic in wrestling lately that a lot of the younger generation doesn't like to take advice from the veterans for whatever reason. And to me, that's just dumb. Doesn't matter what sport it is, what profession it is. If you have someone who has experience, as someone who has success and is willing to talk to you, you should listen, and there's a lot of veterans who will listen, who will talk. I mean, the problem is there's not a lot of, and it's not that there's not a lot of, there's a lot more younger generation wrestlers who are just, let me just do it myself. I don't need your help. And that's not the way to go, because, you should want to have something be totally all you, your character should be you, your presence should be you. But at the same time, if a veteran can help you see an angle that you didn't even see possible, and you try it and it works for you, then that was all the veteran was trying to do, get you to see that there's different options. I always say it best. 2 + 2 is 4, but so is 3 + 1. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people don't see that. They just see the direct 2 + 2 is 4, 2 + 2 is 4. But then someone hits them with 1 + 3 is 4, and you're like, oh yeah, you're right. That's right. I forgot all about that. And that's basically what I try to do. If people love me, I'm grateful. I'm not trying to be a politician or buy people's love or anything like that. I really just want pro wrestling to be better, because I love pro wrestling. And when I came into it, I had to learn the hard way, because back then there was even less vets, because even though kayfabe was dead, it was a lot more alive than it is now, if that makes any sense. And, so they really didn't want us to learn. And there was a real glass ceiling, especially in the New York, New Jersey area. There's a bunch of established indie guys who really were trying to hold down other talent so that they could get the top spots and, do all the work and get all the fame and notoriety. And guys that worked for Jersey All Pro were kind of held down because they looked at it as like trash, and it wasn't. Look at all the famous people that have come from Jersey All Pro on TV today, and the company's been dead since 2018. You know what I mean? So, yeah, exactly. Trust me, I know. I think about it all the time. If there's one place I wish would have gotten a bigger rep and a bigger spotlight shown on it, it's Jersey All Pro. Like, that was my home, and I really wish there could have been more, but sometimes things don't work out that way, and you just got to keep on moving.
Which you definitely have, man. You have unleashed a reign of terror in different promotions, but also, you have also at the same time helped a group of individuals, a group of up and comers to where they are and where they're going, which is awesome. Now let's shift gears here to BCW. Yeah, Christmas with a Vengeance is coming up December 17th at, as we mentioned before, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Now, your opponent is a vet himself, Darius Carter. I couldn't help but see Darius tweet something out. It struck me that this goes back further than BCW may know. What does that mean?
So I've known Darius now. I know it's about 10 years, but probably closer to 15. And he's someone that when I first met him, he was making a lot of fame for himself. Actually, not even fame, more like he was becoming notorious for being someone that a lot of people didn't really appreciate in the locker room, because either he was too cocky, too confident, too whatever it was. And a lot of people didn't like it, and he's someone that I've seen that no matter what, he's always hungry. He's always been hungry, even to this day, that like he's at the highest point that he's ever been in his career. he's still hungry to be better and do more, and that's something that I always appreciated about him. I appreciate the depth that he's gone to get everyone to believe in him and his character. And while he may be slightly despicable at times, I do appreciate the lengths, like I said, that he goes to, because, the best wrestlers are the ones that can get you to believe and feel. And hasn't been a single time with Darius that I haven't seen people feel hate or disgust or anger or just whatever pure emotional rage from deep inside want to come out. And, we had wrestled, I believe it was only one time, maybe might have been two, but the one time that I do remember was at Beyond up in New England. And it was like an 8-man. And we were doing something, and Darius, we threw him up into the air. He went up like 15 feet in the air, me and Moff. It was kind of famous for a minute. But that match, even though we had the viral clip, he won that match. And he did it by locking me and Moff out the building and ganged up on our tag partner and got the win.
Smart man. Always a crafty man.
He is. He really is, and listen, you can't hate on that, but this is something we've been talking about for a while. We wanted to test each other. As I get older, I find myself wanting to, how can I say this? Like some of the wars that I've gotten into have been real heavy in my career. And when I say heavy, they've left scars physically and emotional. And it's hard to want to get yourself to that level without preparation. And with Darius, you really have to prepare yourself. You can't just walk into a match with him, because legit, it could be one boot and you're lights out, from Darius.
He can beat you in so many different ways. He's a dangerous man.
Yes, very much so. And you have to, especially, like I said, he's at the best he's ever been right now at this point in his life and his career.
And I feel like we say that every year about him.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
He hasn't reached his prime, which is crazy because he's been around for so long, and he's not even close to his prime. He's still got another few years before he hits that peak, and even then, who's to say that peak is going to go straight down? It might just keep going up and level and stay up top for a while. You know what I mean? So he's someone that, like I said, you have to be mentally and physically prepared for. You're going to war with him. He's got heavy hands. I mean, I do too. So I know he's got to worry about my hands catching them. But for me, like I said, as you get older, you start to look for the young lion who's coming after the old grizzle vet. I've been calling myself the old battleship for a reason. Like I said, I've been through a lot of wars, and most battleships don't get to see a lot of wars. Most battleships are down in a couple, you know what I mean? But the fact that I've been around for so long and been through it with so many different people, it's helped me prepare for guys like Darius, guys, the young lions, the up-and-comers, the guys who are smarter than the average bear, for lack of a better term. He is someone, every company that has him, he's been the champion for a reason. There's no coincidence there. It's because he's that good, and I look forward to testing myself, even if hey, who knows? It might be the last time. If it is, it is. If it isn't, we keep on going. But at least I know where I stand, and I go into this, like I always say, every promo, me and Moff always used to say it, and I kept it going. Every time I got in there and I knew it was going to be serious, I would always end every promo with, "Are you ready to make the sacrifice?" And I am. And I hope Darius is too.
From the sounds of it, this sounds very unlike Monsta Mack. You sound like you're going into this as an underdog. Am I reading that right?
I kind of always have to feel like I'm the underdog. My whole life, it didn't matter what, from birth, right? I've gone through situations with that. A lot of people, there's people who grew up without parents and stuff like that. But I've always been doubted my whole life because I'm the short, fat one, or I'm the big one and not cute, or whatever this, that, right? You got to remember, I grew up Low-Key's cousin. We were like brothers. You see Low-Key, he's chiseled out of granite, that dude. You know what I mean? He's athletic as hell. I had to keep up with him. Getting into wrestling, I had to keep up with Homicide and him. I had to always push harder than everybody else my size. I could never, ever back off the gas for 1 minute, because if I did, I was a failure. And even when I succeeded, I was still considered a failure by some. For what? Because I'm this size, because I look like this. I don't talk like everybody else. I know that. I get that. I know I'm smarter than a lot of people. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you still have to, no matter how smart, no matter how motivated, no matter how confident you are, you still have to keep pushing, because the second you let off the gas, it sucks that, oh, I'm a failure because I let off the gas. Maybe I wanted a break. Maybe I needed a break. But regardless, I always had to push myself and see myself as the underdog, whether I came in as champ, whether I was a competitor, whatever it was, always as the underdog, because I had to push myself and make sure that no matter what, I didn't let myself down. That's the self-confidence that I have, because I know if given the opportunity, yeah, I might strike out, but at least I'll go out swinging, because if I make contact with that ball, it's a grand slam. You know what I mean? And I'm going to hit that ball most of the time. You know what I mean? So,
and there's no doubt, I'm sure you're going to hit that ball on Saturday, December 17th at Christmas with a Vengeance. Tickets are still available right now. Get yours while it lasts. Steve Monsta Mack versus Darius Carter. It is going to be violent, and I can't wait for it.
He's definitely going to get hit, though. I owe him a smack or two from back in the day. You know what I mean?
I feel you, man. I know I'm doing commentary that day, so I hope I get to call that match, because, Darius, I mean, no love lost here. I'll tell you that. But anyway, Monsta Mack, where can they find you? You have some upcoming shows coming up, don't you?
Yeah. So by the time this airs, we just got through the weekend of Project Codename Fred, where I'll be representing Team Titan. Titan Championship Wrestling is my new Jersey All Pro home, if that makes any sense. I've been putting a lot of time for the last 3 years that the company's been in existence. On January 14th, their 3-year anniversary show, Monsoon, is taking place. Just look up Titan Championship Wrestling on all social media. As far as my social media, I'm on Steve Mack DHS on Twitter. That's the best place to reach me. Add me, hit me up. I usually answer all messages, unless you're a jerk, then go screw off. Which happens because we're wrestlers.
The man has a machete, people. Don't piss him off.
You'd be surprised. That doesn't scare everybody, though.
That's wild, because they're behind a warrior. They're keyboard warriors. That's what I mean.
Yep. What was crazy was we were in the Bronx, in the middle of the Bronx, and I had 2 machetes because I had another one in the bag just in case, right? Yeah, you never know, right? But I still felt like I got to watch my back because I'm in the Bronx.
I feel you, brother. I had to go there, suit it up every single time, so I could have used one of those machetes.
I've been saying, man, if I was low key, I would have had my guns on my little holster. You know what I'm saying? I would have been all right. I'm cool, but
oh. Monsta Mack, it has been a pleasure having you on. I've been looking to have this interview for quite some time. I'm glad we finally did this, and hopefully we'll have you back on soon. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, back to TV Takedown.
It's time for this week's TV Takedown.
All right, Marcus, good job, man. Good interview with Monsta Mack. Looking forward to his match against Darius Carter, the Allfather, the man who always delivers. Has a tough challenge with Monsta Mack. It's hard to hear him talk about being the underdog.
It's
Monsta Mack.
It's Monsta Mack. But yeah, it's Darius Carter. I mean, these two guys, it's like I said before in the interview, it's going to be violent.
Yep.
I hope to God I'm on commentary for that match, man, because it's going to be something special.
Can't wait, man. Hope so. It's going to be a match I'm looking forward to. BCW's Christmas with a Vengeance. Tickets on sale now. Television, my friend. What was trending this week?
All right, my man. So, moving to NXT.
Okay. About time.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been trending a little bit, but here we are, Putty. Big news there. I mean, the New Day showed up. By the time the show airs, Deadline would have happened already. But
that's true.
The big news here from this. So, Denise Hollywood Salcedo at Denise Salcedo. Salcedo or Salcedo? I always mispronounce her name.
You say it differently each week. And it's really awesome. Yeah. And you just said it differently twice within 30 seconds. It's great.
I know. I just caught myself there.
Well, we'll find out next time because she's on the NXT Deadline panel in the pre-show.
I know. Good for her.
Big.
I'm hyped for her.
Well, I saw that. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Good for her. Yeah. So we'll learn the pronunciation of her name.
So anyway, she talks about this. The New Day challenged Pretty Deadly for the NXT Tag Team titles at NXT Deadline. A lot of people were excited to see New Day. back in NXT. There was a big pop for that, of course, because I don't think anyone expected that. But, it's weird seeing the New Day, especially a former World Heavyweight Champion in Kofi Kingston. It feels like a downgrade here. So I have to ask, is WWE fading on the New Day?
No, not at all. I think you're just being glib. Why is it weird for you to see...
Glib?
Yeah, always want to use that sentence. Why is this a downgrade for New Day, not a downgrade for AJ Styles or Dolph Ziggler? I think there's a purpose for them being there. Pretty Deadly. I don't know anything about them in NXT UK. So far, they've done a bang-up job in NXT. 2-time NXT champions already. They've beaten basically all the big teams they have there. Who's left? Right? Briggs and Jensen are involved with somebody else right now. The Creed brothers are involved with Vindshear, whatever they're called. Like, the tag teams they have there aren't on the main event level or entwined with somebody else in a different storyline. So I feel bringing the New Day is a genius move. Same thing you do with AJ Styles and Grayson Waller. I just see you popping your eyes there. You didn't pop your eyes when AJ Styles put over Grayson Waller. I think the New Day coming down, again, you just said it. The show's over, so I don't want to talk about too much about Deadline, but Pretty Deadly going over on the New Day is huge.
It would be huge. I'm not denying that. That would be a big win for Pretty Deadly.
I love Pretty Deadly. They're fucking amazing. Oh, great tag team. Love these guys.
Here's the thing, though.
Here we go.
The New Day, they've been on a downward spiral for quite a bit. But ever since they lost Big E, ever since Big E got drafted to SmackDown, I feel like New Day has not been the same. And they tried to revive their rivalry with the Usos. It just did not feel the same. And obviously they lost. And the Usos, they're the ones. If they lose, I think they're in a lose-lose situation here. They lose to Pretty Deadly. That just sinks them down even further in my eyes. If they win the NXT Championship, then they're stuck there. They're stuck in NXT.
Are they?
A developmental brand where they only have average about 600,000 viewers a week.
Are they?
So this is a lose-lose, I think, for the New Day as a brand. It definitely is a win for NXT if they do win. Regardless, it is a win for NXT for the New Day to be over there, and it helps the talent. But I just don't see it being good for the New Day.
I don't understand why you hate NXT so much.
The writing's in the wall.
Dolph Ziggler was NXT champion. He was still on Raw every week with the belt. So them winning.
What did I do? What did I do for NXT? Really nothing.
Put Braun Breaker over. Got that win.
How over is he?
Massively over.
I never see him trend. It's always about Mandy Rose. When we talk about NXT, we always talk about Mandy Rose talking trash, and that seems to be the highlight of NXT. Is it really Braun Breaker?
Yeah.
Is Braun Breaker really the face of NXT as a World Heavyweight Champion?
If you watch the show, follow the storyline, take your nose off what's trending topics, and actually watch the show as a whole, yeah, he's a cornerstone of that brand.
I'm not denying his talent. I'm not denying what he brings to the table, but I'm just talking about, the people speak. The wrestling community is very big on Twitter. He hardly trends. He hardly ever trends.
New Day going down NXT is a smart move for everybody. We totally disagree. I don't know how we disagree on everything. How are we friends? But NXT going down is great. Give them something to do. They're not really involved in anything right now. Give them something to do. Pretty Deadly. And I'm looking forward to this match. It's a new, unique matchup. I'm tired of seeing the same matches over and over again. Looking forward to this draft coming up whenever that happens. But yeah, Pretty Deadly New Day. Great job, man. Put these people over. Teach them a thing or two. That's what developmental is. Go over matches styles. Go over moves, spots, stuff. Teach these young guys something. I think there's nothing but good things for NXT. Good things for Pretty Deadly.
That's the best thing possible for that, though, is the fact that, yes, and the New Day can actually, help give their expertise to these young talent there in NXT. Yes, that's invaluable, yes. But, I'm talking about New Day in general as a team. It just seems like they're fading.
Losing doesn't hurt them.
It just seems like they're fading, and I think they need to do something fresh new. Maybe it's time for them to break up. Maybe it is.
No, they would get lost in the shuffle. I think they're
already lost in the shuffle.
Well, it's hard to be in a shuffle when you have one tag team dominating everything right now. Right now, tag team's going to be hard to get over because you have that one tag team dominating everything. Three people dominating all the championships.
Well, let me look at this list again. Were they even in the top 10? No. New Day, not in the top 10 tag teams either.
They didn't really do much the past year.
They're not doing shit.
They were consistent.
That's what I'm saying.
They were on TV regularly. But they weren't involved in any heavy programs, heavy storylines. Their job was that putting people over. They put the Brutes over. Yeah, Brawling Brutes. Yeah, I was right. They went over Pretty Deadly to become the Grand Slam champions. Who knows? I don't see why you're so negative on this. I think New Day's in a great spot. They're one of the best tag teams. Kofi Kingston's the longest tag team champion of all time. Combined reigns.
Combined reigns. Yeah. That's
not
a weird stat.
Yeah, I just read that like yesterday. I'm like, oh, he 900 something days as champion. That's crazy. Who keeps track of this? But this is fine. New Day is fine. They have a prominent spot. They're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. They're on the Mount Rushmore of tag teams. I just think this is nothing but good things. Let's keep it glass half full.
Tom Brady's on Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks, and there people are talking about maybe it's time for him to retire.
He's 45 years old. Yes. Yes. Again,
but he's been playing for such a long run.
He's been playing for 23 years, I believe the stat was today. Brock Purdy from the 49ers is 22 years old. He's been playing more than this young quarterback's been alive. So yeah, it's time. Hang him up, dude. Come on.
Like this same could be said for
and don't go back to the Patriots. Don't go back to the Patriots, please. Oh my God.
What else is for the New Day to do? Win the NXT championships and that's it? No, man. I think they need to do something fresh, something new. Maybe it's time for them to split up. No. That's all I'm saying here.
You're insane. You're absolutely insane.
Keep them relevant, man. Or what? They're just going to keep pulling over young talent. I mean, they're going to be the Natalia of tag teams. Come on.
But if they put on great matches, and that they don't suck, what's the problem with that? They need to win. Do they have to win everything? What more than you just said?
No. Eventually, they do have to win. Eventually, they do have to win something. If you lose time, like look what happened with Bray Wyatt. People started fading on Bray Wyatt as the Fiend because he started losing big matches.
And the Fiend sucked. The New Day
that's your opinion. A lot of people disagree.
Will be tag team champions again once this whole bloodline thing is over.
Well, I guess we'll have to see then. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, deadline's already happened, so let's move on here.
Congratulations to the New Day. Congratulations, New Day.
AEW, going over them. Dude, this was probably the moment of the week for me for TV. It was pretty awesome to see Ricky Starks, man, get his shine on Dynamite. JD from NY at JD from NY 206. The one thing AEW needed to do was put Ricky Starks and MJF in the ring with a microphone. They fucking nailed it. That was the best Ricky Starks promo in AEW yet. That made the match must see. Absolutely incredible television. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. I have to agree, man. That was fucking pretty priceless between two amazing individuals on that microphone. And then obviously the hell of a spear knocking MJF out of his shoes. Mm-hmm. Could Ricky Starks, though, Putty, could Ricky Starks be the next AEW World Heavyweight Champion?
Absolutely. Not next week, but eventually he could be the next one.
There it is. I have a feeling that was going to happen.
I could not watch the first hour of AEW because my TV was frozen on that one channel with The Big Bang Theory. That's frozen. I went on Twitter. A lot of people had the same problem. I couldn't reboot my system because I was recording something else. So I waited, and 9 o'clock, magically the show came back. So I missed this promo when it aired. But I got a notification about it. MJF used The Rock's catchphrase. All right, let me check this out. So I watched MJF's promo. The clip ended there. I'm like, oh, okay, that's stupid. Okay, that's cool. I mean, why? What did he have to say? Then I saw the whole promo. Because apparently Ricky Starks went off script. Like, okay. Good promo. I mean, this is the best promo I've seen from Ricky Starks in the last 3 years. Fantastic job. Definitely elevated him. This is what he needed. His character needed. He was getting a little, okay. Good for him, man. This makes me want to see this match now. We know he's going to lose. There's no chance he wins here. But he needs to put on a good showing, which he will. He's absolutely Ricky Starks, and he does nothing but good matches. But that promo alone definitely elevated him and put him in the main event picture.
I am worried, buddy. I am worried. Ricky Starks, I mean, dude, this just elevated him to another level. I mean, we've all seen glimpses of Ricky Starks, of the greatness that exists inside him. You know, why people get behind him, for sure. We've seen small glimpses of him along the way, but absolutely right. Yes, this was the best version that we have seen from him yet in AEW. I'm just worried, man. This week, you're right. I mean, like, how does MJF lose this after just winning the World Heavyweight Championship? After like, something the AEW universe has been clamoring for years for him to win the championship. I don't know, man. I don't see it. But then again, if it's not now, then I don't necessarily know if Ricky Starks does get that moment back, because I feel like, again, unless AEW opens up some more TV time somehow, some way, like, people just get lost in the shuffle. And like, once you have a spot, like, how many times have we seen someone get a spot, then kind of like lose it and then fade away from TV for a bit on AEW? I feel like it happens too often to different talent. It's not necessarily guaranteed that AEW is going to make Ricky Starks a long-term guy in the future, unless he somehow wins this, or unless it's a longer feud that he like loses by DQ or something. I don't necessarily know, but I know how Tony Khan feels about DQ finishes. Not a fan, so like it's going to be a clean finish, obviously here. I don't think it's a guarantee that he's going to become the next World Heavyweight Champion. I hope to God he is, because he could be that guy. I think it's just my faith and trust in how the system operates in AEW doesn't necessarily guarantee Ricky Starks will be a champion in the future.
Going back to Twitter, I noticed that night, Vince McMahon's thoughts at Vince McMahon posted a couple tweets, maybe get your reaction because you're the AEW guy here. Just a reminder, Ricky Starks has been in AEW from day one, and Tony can never find a way to book him on TV for more than 2 weeks at a time. Ricky Starks is the talk of the IWC today because Tony Khan finally gave him the ball after playing a keep away for 3 years. Imagine Ricky was actually given the time for some coherent building of his character and the story with MJF instead of 2 weeks leading to another loss.
That's perfectly said.
That's what you were just trying to get at here, because he's going to lose. There's no way he wins. I think that's pretty much common knowledge. But then we're going back to what we talked about with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins lost all 3 matches. Didn't hurt him. So could a loss here hurt Ricky Starks?
It's different, though. You're talking about apples and oranges.
Yeah, I agree. It's different scenarios. Just the first thing that popped in my head. But could a loss here hurt him with that great promo? Now prominence, people knows what he can do. With the mic, people, casual fans like myself, know, it's Ricky Starks.
The hope is no, it doesn't hurt him.
But
the reality is it could hurt him.
It could.
The reality is, again, like, you just have to look at the logistics here. You just have to look about how many people are on that roster and how little TV time that they have. What, and the person you just quoted a tweet from said it brilliantly. I mean, like, it's Ricky Starks. It's like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and the same with other talent. You look at like a big sign like Miro, who's been away.
Who?
Who?
Oh,
who?
That Rusev guy, right?
Yeah, the Rusev guy. And I love AEW. I want it to succeed. I want the talent to succeed there. It's frustrating. Like, I feel like Tony Khan needs to broker out a deal with TBS, or maybe find another television platform or get a streaming service where they can really utilize their whole roster in an effective way, instead of, just like this on and off type of scenario that we're having right now. Because Ricky Starks, man, like, this guy can go. This guy needs to be on TV, man. He's not a pebble. This guy, he can be a real deal. And yeah, I mean, I think
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. When he loses, is it a long-term program? Will this feud continue? I think after this promo, it has to.
You would think that, but like, when we saw like these brilliant promos between, like, say, CM Punk and Eddie Kingston, or like, name any Eddie Kingston feud, I feel like it just lasts like a week or two and then goes away. You would think there would be a long-term program.
Maybe they don't think too highly.
It's AEW. It's AEW, because I remember at one point too, when I was at AEW Grand Slam, the first one, where I saw Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson, and I thought that was the best match I've ever seen live. And the way it finished in a draw. And I was like, oh, this is going to lead to a bigger storyline. And it didn't. It just didn't. It's like you get my appetite going here. I had a little taste of a derf, and now I want the main dish, and you're not giving it to me. That derf was the main dish, apparently. I'm still hungry.
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Looking forward to this match, and we'll talk more about it. We'll know more about it after the fallout of this match. Like you said, I don't see it being a clean finish, but Tony Khan's not a big fan of dirty finishes. But if this is going to be a long-term program, this can't be a clean finish. Especially with that ring involved, because now the ring's involved somehow.
The ring's involved,
so
but like
the ring's going to get used.
Or is this a way to get Ricky Starks off TV for another couple weeks?
Possible. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, who knows here? But hey, moving on to SmackDown. Hey, by the way, again, love Ricky Starks, man. I want to see a good showing from him. Nothing but love there. Going to SmackDown, Putty. I had this topic once before, but we couldn't get the show going for technical difficulties. So I saw it again here tonight on SmackDown, and this is trending quite a bit with Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. This seems to be like a storyline that people are getting really behind here. We have Hunt of Burial Squad. Am I reading that right? I can never read that dude's font here. At the enduring icon.
B.
It's a D.
B is a boy.
B. I don't know, but at the enduring icon, I knew.
Look him up. Look him up. Let us know.
Yeah, right. Let us know. It's the font. It's
Old
the
English.
There. Yeah, blank of Burial Squad at the enduring icon. I knew Bray and LA Knight would be able to cook up some good TV in this feud, but hot damn, it's been great stuff. The backstage bits, especially #SmackDown, and I agree, man. Like these are some nice little gems there. Like it's interesting because they're different styles here. LA Knight is very like braggadocious, and he's got that charisma. That Bray Wyatt's got a different sort of charisma. It's creepy, but like it brings you in. It's different dynamics here. It's very interesting to see. It's been a couple weeks of this right now. It's building up to a match. Obviously, don't know when. The one would think Royal Rumble, hopefully. But who would need this win more, Putty? LA Knight or Bray Wyatt?
I am thoroughly enjoying this. This has been fantastic. Okay, I'm a huge LA Knight guy. Most people know that. I'm not ashamed. I don't shy away from that. I'm not the biggest Bray Wyatt fan, nor do I shy away from that either. But these two guys so far are putting on one hell of a show. Something I look forward to week in and week out on SmackDown. LA Knight's been standing out to him, not cowering, not being scared of this fear and craziness going on. And then he's being attacked, right? Who's attacking LA Knight? Air quotes. What he did tonight on Friday Night SmackDown, replaying the clips and showing Bray Wyatt in the background. Like, I'm not stupid. You guys see this. I'm seeing this, and when I play it back. A friend of mine was complaining about how when Kevin Owens was talking to Sami Zayn in the locker room, in front of the Bloodline locker room before War Games, and Jey Uso heard him, and Sami Zayn lied to him. He's like, doesn't he know there's a camera right there? Like, doesn't he know, like, Roman Reigns can watch this, Jimmy Uso can go back and watch this? That's a long-term...
You could say the same thing about Washington, D.C. Okay?
Yeah. It's a long-term... It's a constant topic in the wrestling community. Like, it's on camera. Do they not see this? But he pointed it out. Yeah, I saw that thing in the background. I saw that. This feud has been freaking amazing. You asked several weeks ago who's going to be his Bray Wyatt's first victim. I said it can't be LA Knight. I think it's going to kill his momentum.
We both said that. Yeah. Right.
Now reading this question, huge LA Knight fan. Love LA Knight. So excited to see his future in WWE. And finally he's getting the spotlight. Not Max Dupree, but LA Knight, man. Love this guy.
Yeah.
But LA Knight hasn't really done too much on the main roster yet, just cutting promos. Wrestling-wise, I think he won a match or two. Who needs this more? Hands down, Bray Wyatt. You can't bring Bray Wyatt back in his first match to have him lose. Then people are going to talk about what they did with The Fiend, how you buried The Fiend, ruined The Fiend. So Bray Wyatt definitely needs this win more, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue that one there, Putty. I mean, Bray Wyatt, obviously, it's a big deal, the fact that he came back. A loss, unless done right, would hurt. I mean, but at the same time, LA Knight, I mean, he got his identity back.
Yep.
He's not Max Dupree anymore. He is LA Knight, and it's the first time we're really starting to see him shine on the main roster. The dude needs momentum. As you mentioned, he really hasn't had enough matches to have momentum. I mean, he's gotten the fans behind him, of course, with his promos, because the dude is just that damn good in the mic. I think, honestly, creatively, Bray Wyatt is a genius at what he does. I could see LA Knight winning that first match. And then that would introduce maybe the next level to what Bray Wyatt is doing here with the whole Uncle Howdy business and the Wyatt 6 possibly. To bring in that dark side, or the door to be closing, or whatever it is that they're talking about here. That I could see. And that would actually be good for both men, because it progresses what we're seeing from Bray Wyatt, and it gives LA Knight that continued momentum. Because that would be a monumental win for LA Knight in WWE.
Yeah, hard to argue that. Again, if LA Knight wins, it can't be clean. Maybe because he's a bad guy, but... And there's 5 more characters in this Wyatt family. Isn't the Wyatt 6? Everyone's keep mentioning. So maybe get a debut of a new character or something. But I feel like if Bray Wyatt loses this, even if it makes sense, even if it progresses this story, there's going to be a huge part of the audience is going to be like, oh, you're rooting Bray Wyatt again? You're just going to do the same thing you did with The Fiend? Why should I care about Bray Wyatt now? I feel like
that's why if they would have to be so careful with this if they did that. No, like the payoff at the end would have to be so big that it makes people forget almost immediately the fact that he lost. You know what I mean?
It's hard to
do. There have been times when it has happened in wrestling. You know, like we forget who won the match, the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels at Hell in a Cell, because all we talk about is Kane. Oh my God, that's gotta be Kane. You know, the moment was bigger than the match, and I think that's the type of payoff that they need to have here, that level at least, for if Bray Wyatt to go under. Because I think honestly, it's predictable. It would be so predictable for Bray Wyatt to win the first match. Right? There's the shock factor would be LA Knight wins, and then boom, this big blow up where we completely forget the fact that LA Knight fucking even won.
We shall see. Looking forward to it, man. This is a feud that I did not think I would be so invested in, but it's fucking awesome.
It's very interesting first feud because we talked about like I think who was our choice? Rey Mysterio being a likely first victim, if you will, for Bray Wyatt, and again would have made a great first victim, but this is.
I feel like if LA Knight gets into a program, wins, gets over, and then loses to Bray Wyatt, I'm like, that's going to hurt him. But LA Knight doesn't really have too much momentum right now. And a loss here, not going to hurt him too much. He'll win people back. He's a heel. Heels lose, first of all. We all know that. Wrestling 101.
Absolutely.
So, and he's great on the mic. He can definitely win a crowd back over. So I think Bray Wyatt needs this win more, especially coming back after all those years away.
And it's again, hard to dispute that. Bray Wyatt, obviously, big signing, needs that win. But, you know, again, too obvious. So we shall see.
It's also too obvious MJF's going to win. But we shall see.
I mean, it's a lock, MJF. I would put it in DraftKings right now. Go all in, man. MJF for the win. There's no way they're taking the belt off him that fast. And I love Ricky Starks. I want him to win, but there's just no way that's happening.
Are we done with TV?
We're done with TV.
How the hell? I know it's on a Z-list network. And no, not too many people watch Impact Wrestling. But my God, Impact Wrestling saw Josh Alexander, the current champion, issue an open challenge answered by Speedball Mike Bailey right after 9 o'clock. These guys went almost 60 minutes on national TV on a 2-hour program, put on one hell of a match. I am flabbergasted that match wasn't trending. Please check that match out on YouTube. Amazing. Amazing match. Oh, can't talk about enough about it. We're way over, so I'm not going to. Because probably a lot of people didn't see it because it's not trending. Give fucking Impact a chance.
I think that's the problem, though, is the fact that it's on as you mentioned, a Z-list network.
We've talked about it many times. That's their biggest problem. They're not getting too many eyes. I think they're getting a lot of eyes on like the clips on YouTube and stuff.
Right.
Social medias. Actually sit down 8 to 10, watching Impact Wrestling live on Access TV, AXS TV. Check your local networks.
The social media, so I trust me, I follow social media quite a bit.
Do you?
You
never mentioned that.
Their social media game is not that strong, but although what tends to get the most hits for them is back with TNA, when they put on nostalgia matches.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So
that's what people know. Not people are giving the product a chance. They do post clips in there.
That's good. Most hits, yeah.
But that match was just almost an hour on 2-hour program. Josh Alexander, Mike Bailey, great match. Definitely do yourself a favor and check it out. Anyway, Mark Schwann, I need to go home. Talk to you, my friend.
Well, Putty, we're talking before, and I kind of get bummed out for you, man. Like, we're talking a lot about what's trending, and that whole rant you had about Impact. Yeah, we're talking a little bit off the air. Your boy Baron Corbin, Miz, the people you want to talk about, they're not trending, man. You're pretty down about this. You okay? You want to talk?
No, because we're way over fucking time. We're way over. But no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't understand how JBL, a wrestling god, comes back. Baron Corbin gets repackaged. And it's like must-see TV. And no one's talking about it. Shout out to our boy Joey Ace for being another appearance on Raw, by the way.
I was about to say, Joey Ace.
I'm
good
sitting,
to see him on there.
I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there like, is that Joey Ace without a beard? I've never seen him without a beard.
Right? I know.
So,
it's weird to see.
I'm like, let me take a picture of it. I think because he was great. All these facial reactions, engaging with people. Like he stole the show. I'm like, all right, so I took a couple pictures. I'm like, is that Tim? that I see on his post. He's reposting stuff. I'm like, that was him.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the tri-state area. I forget where it was, but it wasn't even in the
it was in D.C.
Yeah.
And props to Becca as well. She was the other dealer.
Oh, okay.
And she was also on in AEW Dark that same week against Athena. So props to her.
Nice.
Good to see indie talent, man, doing their thing. But yeah, buddy, I figured, I see a little bone here.
Eric Young was murdered on TV, and now Diener's leading Violence by Design, which is now called Design because he was the design. Great. Oh, man. Give Impact a chance. Hashtag that.
Speaking of giving promotions a chance, guys, check out, if you're in the New Jersey, New York area, tri-state area, check out BCW December 17th. We're not just saying that just because we're doing commentary for your show. We're saying it because we generally love BCW because they have treated us so well, and plus they have some great competitors there. Christmas with a Vengeance, December 17th, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. The doors open at 2 o'clock. The show is at 3. The headliner there, we have Ruthless Lala defending her women's championship against Brittany Blake. Nice. We have Anthony Gangone defending for the first time the Grand Dragon Championship against Saeed Al-Sabah. That's a big name right there. Brandy Lawrence coming back. She's going to be facing Nikki Duke, big up-and-comer. Darius Carter, as we talked about before, facing Steve Monsta Mack, and it's going to be a heavy-hitting match right there. Vinny Pacifico is going to be in action against Daniel Alexander. Announced today, Christina Marie versus Journey Burke.
What a last couple of matches Christina Marie's been putting on in BCW. Can't wait.
Dude, did you see what the clip trending of her with the slap off, man? Like we called commentary for that match, and dude, that was heavy hitting.
Yeah, literally.
She's spectacular, man. I love what Christina Marie brings in that ring. I feel like I'm missing a match or two, but like this is the card that's being set up here. It's a fabulous card. It's going to be the last show of the year. Then followed up by that, it's going to be the first show of the year, 2023.
2 weeks later.
That's 2 weeks later. BCW.
You waited 2 months? Now you have to wait 2 weeks.
Right. Welcome to the new year, January 1st. Same spot, Richfield Park, New Jersey. Doors again open at 2 o'clock. Show is at 3.
Can't wait. You mentioned earlier this is our last show of the year. Mark, Merry Christmas, buddy. Ready for the baby's first Christmas?
Oh, my Lord.
Does it change your view on Christmas at all? I know you've been Ebenezer before the show started. We were talking about you were huge Ebenezer. You're hating on Christmas big time.
No, I'm not hating on
now,
Christmas. I'm hating on gift giving.
We have a baby. Her eyes are going to light up. You got to introduce her to the whole Santa Claus thing. It's a magical time, my friend. Magical time. Please enjoy it.
No, can I just say this? No, I refuse to have my baby sit on a stranger's lap who is most likely homeless, an alcoholic, using drugs or whatever. The germs right now, we got COVID, we have the flu, we have RSV going. I'm not putting my baby on a stranger's lap. That's disgusting. Right.
Clearly you're a new parent. This is your first child. You don't put a baby on Santa Claus's lap, dick. That's like 3 or 4 years down the road.
Still, even then.
Even then. Like there's some places, even some places still don't do Santa Claus thing. They put Santa Claus like in a snow globe and he's standing outside the snow globe, which is kind of weird.
That's fine. Let's do that. Sign me up for that.
But that was really, really insensitive what you said about the Santa Claus community. They have to go to school and learn stuff for that. You just call them like a bunch of homeless alcoholic drunks. Really insensitive. That's at Mark Schwann. At your favorite actor, people. Your favorite actor, Mark Schwann. If you're offended, hit him up.
Chances are. Not all.
According to who? According to who?
I actually do know one Santa Claus, a guy that is Santa Claus.
And he's homeless?
Who is
drug addict?
No, he's a very good human being.
So your market share is diminished. But anyway, Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas to you as well, buddy.
Can't wait to see that baby. Got some gifts for her.
Yeah, finally.
Can't wait to meet her. Can't wait. Other than that, any plans for New Year's?
No, except for BCW. Welcome to the new year.
That's how it's done, my friends. That's how it's done. So for Mark Schwann, for Steve Monsta Mack, I bring host at Mark J. Putty. Until next year, Putty out.
Hey baby, I hear the bell ringing, hip tosses and body slams. Oh my. And maybe you seem a bit confused, yeah baby, but I got you pinned. Ha 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 ha. But I don't know what to do when I see them with that golden case. They're cashing it in. Authority all in my face. What is a man to do? Good night, everybody.